is proudly presented by AT&T Uverse TV.
The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are the West.
Rangers fans must be raring to go. Their team has not been home much, and there have not been a lot of opportunities to support their heroes. With 11 straight home games at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, the time is now. The homestand begins tonight as your Rangers welcome the Cleveland Indians. Now, the good news about the road trip is it's over. Better news is the Rangers are back home in front of their faithful tonight. They start an 11-game homestand. Tonight it's the first of three with the Rangers and the Cleveland Indians. And welcome in, everyone. Glad to see you all out here with the Rangers back at home with Tom Grieve. I'm Steve Busby, and glad you could join us tonight. But, Tom, the Rangers back home, and they've got some guys swinging the bats pretty well. A little inconsistent on the road trip, but Adrian Beltre has been hot.
Yeah, the team really hasn't clicked like you'd like to see him click offensively, but the one guy who has been getting big hits and continues to get them is Adrian Beltre. On the road trip, he was the one guy that you could count on with men in scoring position. How he hit that ball out of the ballpark, I'll never know. Up and away, way out of the strike zone, hit it to right field, about a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. His leg is still bothering him. He couldn't play in the field on the turf in Toronto, but he's back at third base tonight. So his bat's still in the lineup, and now his glove is back in the lineup, and that's nice to see.
Yeah, and one of the great things about being home, the Rangers have the best home record in the American League, and despite the fewest home games played. So maybe this homestand will get them back on the right track, and they certainly hope the offense shows up. Josh Lindblom gets the start tonight in the opener against the Tribe. He will face the Cleveland Indians, the first of three coming up from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. Your Texas Ford dealer celebrates red, white, and you. And Enjoy savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. Now, summer has arrived, maybe not officially, but certainly temperature-wise and dress-wise here at Rangers Ballpark. Temperature in the mid-90s as we get set to watch the Rangers and the Indians. Before we get underway, let's head down to the field and say hello to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, Buzz, as you well know, the Rangers injured list beginning to look like a pretty decent major league roster. However, Ron Washington says despite the fact that saw his team's lead in the American League West disappear and now shrink to just a half game, he still expects to win.
I think if you're relying on the law of averages, then things not going to work out for you. I think what you have to do is go out there and make it happen, and that's our mindset. We're going to make it happen. And the injuries, you know, we got guys coming back, and the guys we got here, we'll fight and hold it together until that happens. But in the meantime, our expectation is to continue to win ball games.
So regardless of how long that list gets and who lands on it, Ron Washington saying this team expects to win. As you fellas have talked about, the fact that they are home for the next 11 certainly bodes well for a team who is the second best in baseball in their home ballpark, guys.
All right, Emily, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be back home, and Josh Lindblom will try and turn in a dandy here tonight. Lindblom taking on a Cleveland Indian ball club that has lost 7 consecutive ball games. And here's the lineup that Lindblom will face tonight. Michael Bourne, the speedster, leads off. He's the center fielder. Jason Kipnis plays second base. Nick Swisher's in right. Cleanup man is the left fielder, Michael Brantley. Carlos Santana plays first. Mark Reynolds is over at third. Batting seventh, the DH, Jason Giambi. Jan Gomes catches, and Mike Aviles is the shortstop and bats ninth.
And our Budweiser scouting report for Josh Lindblom. On May 20th, he had his one spot start for the Rangers against Oakland. He pitched 4 2/3, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits. At AAA Round Rock, he was pitching great. He was 6-0. His ERA was 2.04. Opponent's batting average was the best in the Pacific Coast League. 4-5, 331, and 101 Major League relief appearances. Starting for the first time at AAA and doing a great job. And here he is back in the big leagues getting another great opportunity.
And we'll take a look at the Ranger defense brought to you by Skag. David Murphy in left, Craig Gentry in center, Nelson Cruz is in right. Jeff Baker the start at first base. Profar and Andrews up the middle, Beltre at third, Pierzynski behind the plate, and Josh Lindblom is on the hill. Just about ready to get things underway here tonight. Michael Bourne, the leadoff man for the Indians, steps in and takes ball one from Josh Lindblom. Michael Bourne signed in February, this past February, with the Indians. Played last year with Atlanta, the speedster. 96 degrees at first pitch here tonight. So we have definitely left spring in the past. We have moved right on to summer here in North Texas. Fouled out a play to the left, then the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Umpiring crew tonight, Mike Winters calling the balls and strikes. Mark Wegner at first, Laz Diaz at second, I should say, and Tim Timmons over at third. Mike Winters, the crew chief of this quartet. Big, slow breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Josh Lindblom going to a pitch we haven't seen him feature very often, that slow hook. And Bourne hadn't seen that either.
As a reliever, he was more of a sinker slider guy. And I think relievers tend to rely on a couple of key pitches. But as a starter, he uses his full repertoire, and he's had a great chance in 57 minor league innings to develop those other pitches. And looks like that curveball is developing pretty well. After several fastballs, Michael Bourne had a little more than he could handle when he saw it, that's for sure.
And the second baseman, Jason Kipnis, takes a strike. Kipnis, 8 home runs, 30 driven in. Batting average, though, hovering in the mid-240s. Lindblom back to him. And he fisted him with a fastball. It's fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes.
By most statistical measures, Lindblom was probably the best starting pitcher in the Pacific Coast League. He had the best ERA. He had the best opponent's batting average. And if you add up walks and hits per innings pitched, he had the best number there, too.
High and tight, 1-2 the count.
He didn't walk very many, didn't give up many hits.
That usually is a formula for
That's
pitching pretty well.
Keep it in the ballpark. Don't give up home runs. Don't walk anybody.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch. That is yanked foul toward the far end of the Ranger dugout. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Gipnis, like many of the Cleveland Indians, having problems of late. He has gone on a downturn, and so has the Tribe. Into the air to center field. Greg Gentry over to his left a few steps, and that is out number 2. Gipnis retired, and now Nick Swisher.
Pretty nice curveball that Josh has featured so far. And a lot of strikes. 7 out of the 9 pitches he's thrown have been strikes.
Nick Swisher, former Oakland A, former New York Yankee, signed a 4-year deal with the Indians or just after the first of the year, January 3rd to be exact. He has come in. He was going to be the centerpiece of this revamped offense. And lately it hasn't worked out too well for Swisher or for the Tribe. There's a strike. But that can change very quickly. Swisher has a pretty good track record. Although on this road trip, which is now in its 7th game, Swisher is 1 for 23. Swisher, the switch hitter, up there from the left side. Lindblom into the wind, and the 1-1 pitch. 1-2. Like that slider, hard slider. Lindblom back to the plate. Oh, he jammed Swisher, and Swisher able to fight it off back behind the screen and out of play. See the numbers for the month of June. It has not been a kind month for Nick Swisher.
I'd say not. Lowest average in the American League for that time.
And here we are on the 10th of the month, too. And it's not like it was just 3 or 4 days worth. Again, the 1-2. Hard hit, base hit to right field. Well, Swisher got one up and out over the plate, able to bang it into right. A 2-out single puts him aboard for Michael Brantley.
It looked like a slider that just kind of spun a little bit right in the middle of the plate. Gave Swisher a pretty good pitch to hit, and he had to do the rest, though. He had to take the good swing and hit it. It looked like he did.
Well, Michael Brantley will step in with Swisher at first. 2 outs here in the first. Brantley off to a very good start at 286. Speedy outfielder, and he takes a strike to the outside corner. Brantley with 2 home runs. He has driven in 26. That on-base percentage, I tell you, he's been on the sacks quite a few times. Hit leadoff at times when Michael Bourne was on the disabled list. Bourne had to miss some time with a cut on his index finger. 1-1 the count as the fastball sails high. And Brantley 0 for his last 9. So it's and he's not unique in that. The Indians under Terry Francona off to that good start. And the first couple of weeks, or last week in May and now the first week and a half in June, have just been a real trial for him. Terry Francona, of course, sat out last year, went over and did some commentating work. Decided that the deal in Cleveland was a comfortable fit for him. And he brought in the man at first base, Nick Swisher. And ball 3 is high. You know, Josh Lindblom, after getting the first 2 outs very quickly, gave up the base hit to Swisher. Now has fallen behind 3-1 to Michael Brantley. And if Brantley is able to extend the inning, Carlos Santana is waiting in the on-deck circle. Right-hander sets, a check of Swisher. Ground ball, that's going to head into right field for a base hit. Swisher stops at second as Cruz gets the ball back in. So back-to-back singles with 2 outs. Runners at first and second for Santana.
Santana has been their most consistent and best hitter for sure. He's hitting in the 280s. Also a guy that has a great eye at the plate. He walked 34 times. Good on base percentage. Pitch on a fastball, inner part of the plate. Got the ground ball. He just pulled it right in the hole.
So the switch hitting Carlos Santana will step in from the left side of the plate. Santana has hit just a marginally better against left-handed pitchers than he has right-handed pitchers. Right-handers, he's hit to a tune of 276. Left-handers, 297. Pick off at second. And that boy a little slow in developing as Lindblom didn't see Elvis cutting in really in time to make it close. Santana, as you saw, 8 home runs and 24 RBI. First pitch from Lindblom. Pulled foul down the right side, back into the seats. Josh having a little trouble getting the ball down in the strike zone.
Unfortunately, got that one in far enough where all Santana could do was pull it foul. He had a big swing at it. Fortunately, that wasn't one that hung out over the plate because he was geared up to hit a fastball and he had a good swing at it. Just got in on him enough to where he pulled it foul.
Santana, as you can see, the last week been doing some pretty heavy lifting with that bat. A slow off-speed pitch, and it stays a little bit high and outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Santana, the start at first base tonight. He also handles most of the catching chores, although Jan Gomes has come over and really provided a lot of relief for Santana. There's another breaking ball, the slow variety, and that's in for a strike. It's 1-2. Ron Washington watched his club go through a 2-4 road trip, losing 2 out of 3 to both the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Hoping for a reversal of fortunes here at home. 1-2 pitch. That's fouled back, and we will try it again.
Yeah, the road trip was 2-4, but with a little bit here and a little bit there, it could have been 4-2. The Rangers had a late lead in one of the games in Boston. Red Sox came back and beat them. That was a close game. And of course, there was the 18-inning game. Both teams would have been disappointed if they lost that game. A lot of chances squandered by both teams, but certainly the Rangers had some opportunity. So a little bit here and a little bit there. It could have been 4-2.
High and tight. It's 2-2. Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. There's not a whole lot of margin between what could have been a winning road trip and what turned out to be a losing road trip. And like Ron Washington says, sometimes when you're in the game and have a chance to win, sometimes that's all you can ask. You have to win a good number of those. Breaking ball, tried the back door and found it closed. Well, the count has gone full now to Santana. Santana hitting in the fifth spot. He'll be followed by the power hitting third baseman Mark Reynolds. With 2 outs, both Swisher and Brantley will be off and moving with this pitch from Josh Lindblom. And a little turnaround inside, but Elvis not cutting to the bag, so there was no person to throw it to. Elvis saying, if I had known he was going to do that, I would have cut to the bag. Runners on the move, 3-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did. The appeal down to Tim Timmons. And Lindblom and the Rangers get the call. So the strikeout ends the first. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Half an inning in the books. Indians nothing. Rangers coming up. Fox Sports Southwest. first. Now the Rangers come into bat, and their starting lineup is delivered by First Financial Bank. Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, leads off. David Murphy is next. Then the DH, Lance Berkman. Adrian Beltre is the cleanup man. Nelson Cruz in right field bats fifth. A.J. Brzezinski catches. Jeff Baker at first. Craig Gentry hits eighth, plays center field. And the number 9 hitter is the second baseman, Jurickson Profar.
And our scouting report for Scott Kazmir. He's had 9 starts. He's 3-3. He has not pitched well on the road. 0-3. ERA in the 6s. Opponent's batting average over 3. Career against the Rangers. Last 3 games haven't gone well. First 10 did. Last year he pitched in an independent league. Wasn't even on a minor league roster. So it's a pretty nice comeback for him. They say he's throwing hard again. A little bit inconsistent, which you would expect, but on any given night, he's tuned up some pretty nice games this year.
And Kazmir with strike 1 to Elvis. Elvis steps in a bit of a downturn. 250 the average. And he takes strike 2. Saw the numbers for Elvis against Kazmir in his career. Those 16 at bats, though, a lot of time between this at bat and the last time in 2010 that Elvis saw him. Swung on and missed by Andrus in a 3-pitch strikeout for Scott Kazmir. The left-hander tuned it up pretty well, and Elvis gone very quickly. Now David Murphy will come up. We'll look at Indian defense tonight. Brantley in left, Bourne in center. Swisher is in right. Santana at first. Giptis and Aviles up the middle. Mark Reynolds at third. Jan Gomes behind the plate. And the 29-year-old left-hander, Scott Kazmir, on the hill. Fastball outside to Murphy. 1-0. David with his 8th home run of the year yesterday. Got that insurance run in the 8th inning in Toronto. Takes a pitch that's just low. It's 2-0.
Kazmir's had a couple of games this year. He had a 6-inning, 10-strikeout game against Oakland. 7 innings, 1 run win against Cincinnati.
Santana bobbles after he knocked it down and still able to underhand to Kazmir covering. Murphy retired, 2 away. Lance Berkman coming up.
So there's been some games that haven't gone well, but he's had some pretty good starts. Most of his good starts have been at home. Hasn't pitched as well on the road. But you can tell just watching the first 2 hitters, a lot of the velocity that he had when he was with Tampa Bay seems to be back. Looks like he's throwing nice and free and easy. Come a long way since last year. He played in Sugar Land last year. Not only did he pitch in the Atlantic League, an independent league, he had 14 starts. His ERA was over 5 in that league, so he wasn't very close to being a big leaguer last year.
Here's Lance Berkman, switch hitting DH for the Rangers, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Berkman sat out yesterday's ball game. He got the start at first base on Saturday.
Must be hard to pick him up right now. They're taking a lot of fastballs for strikes, and the one that Elvis swung at for strike 3, ball was in the catcher's mitt when he swung at it.
0-2 pitch. Got him swinging.
We'll see what happens when it gets dark, but right now it's all Kazmir. All fastballs all the time.
Couple of strikeouts, 9 pitches is all it took. We'll go to the second inning in Arlington. No score, Rangers and the Indians. let's welcome in Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, Buzz, appreciate it. Great to be back at the ballpark, seeing all the great Ranger fans. Good to have you out on hand at Community Corner this evening. It is time to honor the newest Hall of Fame induction. That is Pudge Rodriguez, and you can do so at the Dr. Pepper Hall of Fame luncheon July 29th. That is at the Omni Fort Worth. To find out more and details, log on to TexasRangers.com/Hall of Fame. Buzz?
All right, Knoxy, thank you. Well, Mark Reynolds not wasting any time. There's Pudge. Guy had a pretty good arm on him, huh? And a pretty good bat.
He could hit, too.
Yeah.
Look at that ball. That went a long way.
I think that was the night that he had his 9 RBIs or whatever.
Yeah, he got him in like the first 4 innings or 5 innings. First 3 times up.
Had a grand slam and a 3-run home run or something like that.
Yeah.
Went crazy. Now here's a guy who's gone crazy a few times in this ballpark too, and that's Jason Giambi. 20 career home runs in 53 games in this park. That is the most of any player since the ballpark came into existence in '94. Of course, Giambi, a longtime Oakland A and New York Yankee. Rip and a foul ball. It's 2-1. 42 years old now, and Giambi still not ready to hang it up. .304 is lifetime average here. 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike. Lindblom back to the plate. Line to right field, but right at Nelly Cruz. That's out number 2. No, 2 up, 2 away, and now Yan Gomes. Josh Lindblom settling back in after getting the first 2 outs in the first inning on 9 pitches. He ended up throwing 17 pitches to get the next out. Had to face 3 hitters to do it. 6 pitches this inning to get the first couple of outs, and the breaking ball is outside to Gomes. Gomes at .284, 6 home runs, 17 driven in. Slider for a strike, and that evens the count at 1-1. Lindblom, big sigh, the right-hander goes to work, the 1-1 pitch. Here's that big slow hook at 68 miles an hour.
That is exactly what it is. Big slow hook. Breaks pretty sharply, though.
Yeah.
Keeps it down. Pitch they've had trouble with first time around.
Now the 1-2. Pulled on the ground. Beltre at third. Gobbles that up. On across the diamond, a 10 pitch. Second inning for Lindblom. 1, 2, 3, and out are the Indians. An inning and a half in the books. No score on Fox Sports Southwest. Question for you is, where's your favorite place to watch the Rangers play? And we'd appreciate your opinion. If you want to say behind home plate, just go to Twitter and enter hashtag FS home plate. Or you can go home run court, center field bleachers, behind the Rangers dugout, or the most popular, as far as we're concerned, on Fox Sports Southwest. Hashtag FS and then your answer of home plate, porch, bleachers, dugout, or FSSW. And we'll let you know later on in the game what the majority of you felt the most appropriate response was. Adrian Beltre steps in, hitting at .307. 14 home runs, 38 RBI. And he pops one up on the right side. Santana and Kipnis, it'll be the second baseman Kipnis to make the grab. That is out number one. Well, Beltre pops out, now Nelson Cruz. Actually, Scott Kazmir, in a while since he faced the Rangers. September the 30th of 2010, the last time that Kazmir matched up against the Rangers, and that was when he was a member of the Angels. That was here in Arlington. Rangers had a 3-2 win that night, but it wasn't anything to do with Kazmir. He worked 5 1/3 in that ball game. 3-2 lifetime is Scott Kazmir with a .270 earned run average in 7 previous starts in this ballpark. Fastball strike, that evens things to Nelly Cruz, who steps to the plate, hitting at .261.
As Kazmir has always been a strikeout pitcher. He's averaged almost a strikeout per inning in his career. And this year he struck out 50 in 48 innings. And when you watch him, he's not lighting up the radar gun, but it just looks like his delivery, the way he hides the ball right behind his head before he throws it, at least early in the game. Tough to pick his fastball up. Rangers haven't had a good swing at his fastball yet.
Well, he fouls it back to the screen, and it's still a ball and 2 strikes.
And he's not exactly trying to trick him. I don't think he's thrown 15 pitches. I think every one of them's been a fastball.
Well, Kazmir, you remember when he first signed, he's a Houston product. Signed out of high school, the first round selection of the Mets back in 2002. He was the 15th overall draft pick. There's a little looper out to right field, and Swisher started back, now comes on, and that is out number 2. Now, like Nelly might have gotten that down toward the trademark a bit. 0-2 gone. A.J. Pierzynski coming up. And it was a big story when Kazmir was dealt to Tampa Bay. That was in 2004. Victor Zambrano, part of that trade, and where the Tampa Bay Rays really thought they had a great young pitcher, and they did. Pierzynski shooting one the other way, and it's under the glove of Vilas into left field. And there's the first base runner of the evening for the Rangers as A.J. Pierzynski goes the other way with a 2-out single.
That ball is kind of tailing away, cutting away from A.J. Vilas just couldn't quite get to it. Asdrubal Cabrera is the Indian shortstop. Even though he got off to a terrible start, he was starting to come on and swing the bat pretty well before he had to go on the disabled list.
Jeff Baker, Ranger first baseman tonight, takes strike 1. Ranger first baseman and resident lefty killer. 329, 8 home runs, 14 driven in. But I'll tell you what, Baker is just, well, he hasn't seen a left-hander in a long time he didn't like to hit against. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baker hitting .381 this year against left-handers. 16 for 42 with 7 home runs. That is the tops in the National, I mean, you should say in the American League. There's a strike. It's 1-2 now. Pierzynski at first base. A modest lead for the Ranger catcher. And the fastball inside. 95, nudging that inside corner. 2-2 to Baker. Casimir, a long look, now time called. Home plate umpire Mike Winters throwing the hands up and walking out from behind home plate. Now Baker back in, everybody ready to go as Casimir comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Off speed and low, and the count has gone full, so with 2 outs now, Brzezinski will have the advantage of being off with the next pitch. Baker trying to extend the Rangers' second inning. Craig Gentry, Rangers center fielder, would be next if the inning continues. The right-handed hitter up there, Santana, holding Brzezinski to prevent him from getting too big a lead. He's on the move, payoff pitch, inside, ball 4. A single, now a walk, and with 2 outs, Rangers at it again. They have done a great job with 2 outs scoring runs this year. That's one thing that hasn't waned very much, even though they've had trouble offensively in some areas. That hasn't been a problem. Craig Gentry, a .231 hitter, as you can see, a home run and 8 driven in. Came in yesterday's ball game as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning. Got on base with a single and also walked in that frame. Ball 1. And now Gomes going to go out and talk with Casimir. Scott Casimir made his major league debut with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2004. 8 ball games that year and went 2-3. Then he reeled off 3 consecutive years with, make that 4 consecutive years with at least 10 wins. Won 10 a couple of times, he won 12, and he won 13. And in Tampa, after they were going to lose control of him, ended up dealing him to the Angels. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Gentry waiting. Casimir a check of the runners. Ball 2 is high.
Well, he was pretty much right on target early. Now he's kind of lost the target.
I know I've mentioned it before, Tom, but you see this every once in a while, that a guy, the first time he has to throw from the stretch.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Loses the feel for his release point, his mechanics. It takes him, and Craig looked like helped him out of there and swinging at a pitch maybe outside the strike zone. But it takes him, maybe 2, 3, 4 hitters to get back to where he's comfortable doing it. Not being able to read Casimir's mind, I don't know if that's what is bothering him, but it sure looks like he was having a little bit of a problem with it. 2-1 the count. Gentry waiting. And a strike to the inside corner makes it 2-2. Brzezinski getting his lead at second at the bottom of your screen. He is trailed by Jeff Baker over at first. The 2-2 pitch. Pulled on the ground toward the hole. It's through for a base hit. Brzezinski being waved around third. Here comes Brantley's throw. The slide. He is safe. Craig Gentry, an RBI single. The Rangers jump on top 1-0.
You're talking about the 2-out runs that the Rangers have had, Buzz, and there's a great example. Single, little harmless single to left, little walk, 2 balls, 2 strikes, little ground ball to left, and a 2-out run. Jurickson up, trying to add to it. And with 2 outs, Gary Pettis scoring A.J. Brzezinski all the way. A.J. with a little burst of speed coming around third and a nice slide at the plate. There he comes. And he's safe.
1-0 Texas. And runners still at first and second. Jurickson Profar now, the switch hitting infielder for the Rangers. Up there from the right side. A wave and a miss on the off-speed pitch. 0-1 the count. Profar had a tough time in the series in Toronto. Saw his batting average drop some 40 points. He's hit safely, though, in 10 of the 16 games that he has played with the Rangers this year. Up there now with a chance to do some second inning damage. Scott Kazmir, a check of second. And the pitch on the outside corner. It is 0-2 to Profar. Here's what we were talking about in the 3 games in Toronto. Just 2 for 16. He's going to have to go back and get another piece of lumber. Just noticed the cupped into that bat was dented.
You know, if all you have is a little problem like right at the end of the cup, it doesn't really matter. If you hit the ball there, it's not going anywhere anyway. What you need to check is the sweet spot of the bat. If that's okay, go for it. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything anyway. Top secret conversation right there on the mound. No lip reading allowed.
You're showing Mike Winters that his bat had a problem. I don't think Mike really cared, but it was nice of him to have that kind of respect for him. And there's the tag.
That's going to verify the problem right there.
That's right.
He wasn't faking.
The 0-2 pitch. Out of play. And we will try it again. Profar back in, sets that right foot right at the back of the batter's box. Baker getting his lead from second. Gentry from first. Again, the 0-2 pitch. Little tapper slowly hit to third. Reynolds boots it in his haste to get to the bag at third. He had to go off his glove, and everybody's safe. The bases are loaded for Elvis.
Well, he obviously had time to make that play, but he tried to run toward the bag before he caught the ball. Kind of probably catches Jeff Baker out of the corner of his eye and says, well, I better make sure I get there. But the real thing he needed to make sure was to catch the ball, and just didn't quite do that.
Yeah. Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, out to the mound right now as you get another look at it. You can see his eyes come up just before the ball got there as he was looking toward third, and he headed that way, but he forgot to take the rock with him.
I'm sure Mickey Callaway's telling Scott Kazmir, look, don't worry about what's happened. You're throwing the ball fine. It's been a couple of ground balls, an error, and a walk.
Robbie scored a fielder's choice, considering that Reynolds was going to third. The error allows the 2 runners on base to advance to 90 feet. So here's Elvis, who struck out his first time. Well, he had a good rip at that fastball. 0-1 the count. You know, Tom, you mentioned the first time in the first inning that the sun might have been a problem. From that swing, it looked like the sun problems have gone away.
Yeah, it was a little bright, and it looked like the Rangers were having a hard time picking up the fastball in the first inning. And when it gets darker, it might be a little bit easier.
Off speed and downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Elvis with 22 runs driven in, trying to increase that number. He's got the bases full of teammates. Kazmir still working from the stretch. And the pitch on the inside corner. Elvis raising his arms to let that pass by, and it caught the corner. It's 1-2.
Yep. Well located, just barely touching the inside part of the plate.
Elvis down on strikes. That slow breaking ball. Side retire, but the Rangers do come up with a run on a couple of hits. There was an error. They lead 3. On to the third inning. Rangers 1, Indians nothing. Fox Sports Southwest.
The Indians 1-0 as we head to the third, and this was the scene earlier this afternoon. The Fox Sports Fan Express rolling in from Atlanta, and on board a packed house. They even tell me some of the Atlanta folks had to ride in the luggage department, and here he is, the Italian Stallion. And what do you have going on here, Stallion?
We brought our listeners from Atlanta, Texas, home of Drew Stubbs. The Indians don't have him in the lineup. These fans are mad. They want the Rangers to win. They brought horseshoes for good luck. Horseshoes in Atlanta, Texas are good luck. Noxie, we want you to put this in the locker of Mitch Moreland for good luck. We're going to win 8 out of 11 on this homestand. KPYN Atlanta is in the house!
Go, the Stallion again with coffee. Can you get anything a little bigger than this?
No, this is for the locker. This is solid plated gold, because we know baseball players, especially some of our former players, Josh Hamilton, they make a lot of money. So put this in Mitch Moreland's locker for good luck.
You got it, Stallion. Good to have the Atlanta folks on hand. Way to go. Buzz, Tom, help here.
All right,
All Jim had to do is sit back and watch that one.
Yeah, don't give up the mic. 1-1, and the pitch from Lindblom outside to Mike Aviles. Aviles, the number 9 hitter, leading things off here in the top of the third inning. Aviles at 264, 3 home runs, 18 driven in. That pitch low, it's 3-1. Lindblom granted a 1-0 lead with which to work. Trying to get the leadoff hitter. And the pitch on the outside corner runs the count full. Aviles hitting in the 9th spot. Following him in this inning, Michael Bourne, the leadoff man. Payoff pitch. Up the middle. Elvis behind the bag. On the run, throws. Not in time. Aviles able to beat it out. That ball hit hard enough to make Elvis go across instead of come in toward the ball. And Aviles, with good speed, able to leg it out for an infield single.
I thought the way Elvis fielded it and threw it, that it would be in time to get Aviles, but he got out of the box quickly and gets down the line a little bit faster than you think.
Yeah, if Elvis is able to take an angle more toward the bag at second instead of having to go behind it, he might have had a better shot at him. But 1 on, nobody out, and the pitch to Michael Bourne is outside for ball 1. Bourne struck out to start things here tonight. Bourne checking with the third base coach down there, Brad Mills. Lindblom, a little toss over to first to drive Aviles back.
Have a birthday to mention tonight. Georgia Duncan from Richland Hills is 94 years old, celebrating her birthday at the ballpark. Want to thank her for the nice treats she made us. Also mention that she is the great aunt of Madison Peltier from our communications department. So thank you very much, Georgia. And Shirley and Robert Gardner from Duncanville recently celebrated their 59th wedding anniversary. Thanks for the pictures you sent, Robert. That's a real baseball family. A lot of players in their family, a lot of people that love to watch the Rangers. So happy anniversary and happy birthday to Georgia Duncan.
1-1 pitch. That's a little bit low. It's 2-1 to Bourne.
Well, that looked like it might have been low and right in the bottom of the strike zone. Guess not. Otherwise, Mike Winters would have called it a strike.
Snap throw to first by Lindblom, and diving back Aviles. 2 balls, 1 strike. Going on, nobody out. Rangers leading 1-0. The pitch upcoming to Bourne. And it's 3-1. Well, Josh Lindblom back to having difficulty getting ahead of hitters the way he did in the first inning after 2 were out. He started the 3rd that way.
One thing he didn't do is he didn't walk guys at Round Rock. Maybe he's just trying to make a little bit more perfect pitch here than he was down there.
To left field, Murphy shaded toward the line, over near the wall, and makes the catch. Good outfield positioning, defensive positioning, and enabled Murphy to get there just before the ball and the wall would intersect. 1 out, and let's take a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. Jason Kipnis, the hitter, with Mike Aviles at first base. And here's a good look at David Murphy on that last line drive.
Yeah, if he's not shading over there and he's running full speed, that becomes a much more difficult play.
Another toss to first, and Aviles had his feet tangled up as he was headed back. 0-1, the count to Kipnis. Kipnis a fly ball to center. Back in the first inning. Another throw to first. And that play a little bit closer. Aviles going to do a little groundskeeping out there now.
Now, since the start of 2008, no one has stolen more bases in the big leagues than Bourne has. 2-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover. This year, not quite as effective stealing bases. He's 9 out of 13.
Aviles the lead from first, and Kipnis shoots one to left field. That's a base hit. Aviles to second will stop there. Kipnis going the other way. Runners at first and second, 1 out, and Nick Swisher coming up.
Sorry about that. I'm talking like Michael Bourne's on first base. Aviles.
They both run.
Well, sorry about that.
No, that's all right.
Just kind of goon out every now and then. Not much you can do about that.
The Indians now with 4 hits. They have gotten 2 in the first and 2 here in the third, just 1 out. Swisher had one of those first inning singles. Grounded one through the hole on the right side. So he will be up there with Aviles at second, representing the tying run here in the third inning. Swisher hitting .243 as Lindblom comes to him with a belt high fastball. Talking about Swisher, who is now 2 for 24, but he went through an 0 for 27 streak. Got a hit yesterday, which broke that streak. That was 1 short of being his all-time career worst. He had an 0 for 28 last September, as a member of the Yankees. 1-1 the count. Inside corner, it's 1-2.
I'm sitting here trying to think who Josh Lindblom reminds me of, and he's got a little bit of Kobe Lewis in him. Same delivery. Big curveball, slider, and a changeup. Fastball around 90-ish, 91-ish. About the same size. And similar delivery.
A ball and 2 strikes. Spun him around, and the count is even at 2-2. Swisher, one of the guys that wears that protection on that front elbow and up his tricep. Lindblom sets. And the 2-2. Rolling outside, 3-2.
A pretty good changeup. He just didn't get him to swing at it. Swisher's another guy that sees a lot of pitches and will take a walk.
The first and second with 1 out. Swisher, the number 3 hitter. And Josh Lindblom working himself into a little bit of a problem. As pitches inside, ball 4. That will load him up and bring out Mike Maddox. The 2 singles, a walk. The bases are full. And Michael Brantley is coming to the plate. Mike got to talk to Josh Lindblom and to A.J. Pierzynski. Folks, swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone, iPad. Download it free today. Home Run Derby mobile. That's great. I like that. Conference concluded. Josh Lindblom set to go back to work now. Bases full. 1 out. Michael Brantley, a ground ball base hit to right, his first time. Lindblom will work from the stretch. And the first pitch is low ball 1. Looks like a first pitch changeup.
Yeah, they just won't swing at anything unless he gets it up and in the strike zone. Try to tempt them with pitches out of the strike zone, but not having any success.
Lindblom's 0-1 pitch now, or 1-0. Popped him up. This will help. Infield fly rule in effect. Jurickson Profar makes the grab, and a very big out on the pop out of Michael Brantley. 2 gone. Carlos Santana now will come up.
He snuck the fastball in on his fist after the changeup. Tied him up just enough to get that pop up to the infield. Well, that's a big out. Man on third base, less than 2 outs. Bases loaded. Got a tough guy right here, though. He struck out Santana with men on first and second to end the first inning. Now it's the bases loaded in 2 outs. Santana has been the Indians' best hitter this year. Got him to swing at a slider out of the strike zone.
First pitch from the Ranger right-hander. In the dirt, breaking ball, and a nice block by A.J. Pierzynski. It's 1-0. Well, Santana, not a guy you want to give too many opportunities to. He's always been a run producer. We showed you the stat. In the last week, he's hit 360. Then you go back over the longer haul since the 1st of May, though. He's hit just 225. 1-0 pitch to him. That's going to be trouble. It's going to get by Cruz all the way to the wall. It will clear the bases. Avila's home. Get this home. Swisher is home. A 3-run double for Carlos Santana, and the Indians have turned the score around. It's 3-1 Cleveland.
Santana had a big swing at a fastball the first time up, and he pulled it foul. This one, however, is a little more out over the plate. Outside corner, but middle of the plate. He puts a pretty good swing on it. Hit that ball hard.
Cruz not able to cut it off, and So the Tribe puts 3 on the board with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Now Mark Reynolds with Santana at second base. 0-1 on the foul ball. So Carlos Santana now 27 RBI, his 17th double. Lindblom from the set. The ball and a strike. Oh, you take this long, and I understand you're in trouble and a lot, but throwing this many pitches just saps the energy right out of whatever momentum the Rangers had developed last half inning.
Yeah, Josh has worked his pitch count up. This will be his 63rd pitch coming up.
One and two, the count to Reynolds. Lindblom ready. Outside, 2-2. You know, we talked about this being Lindblom's first foray into starting for the Rangers anyway. But he's been in the major leagues the last year with the Phillies and the Dodgers, spent the entire year at the big league level, so he's not a novice. All in relief. Big breaking ball, got him swinging. Side retired, but Cleveland comes up with 3 runs on 3 hits. They strand 1. 2.5 gone by. Indians 3, Rangers 1. Fox Sports Southwest. Is brought to you by Ford. Your Texas Ford dealer celebrates red, white, and you. Enjoy great savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box, where the Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back. Well, the Rangers now find themselves down by a pair, and David Murphy leading things off against Scott Kazmir, who this is outside for ball 1. Murphy, a ground ball to first in the first. So 0 for 1, David hitting .217. And ball 2 is outside. And the Rangers in the second able to do their damage against Kazmir with the help of a walk in there. And the same thing can be said for the Indians last inning against Josh Lindblom. The walk certainly helped the Cleveland cause. Then the 3-run double by Santana. 2-1 delivery. 3-1. So Murph trying to get aboard to start the Ranger third. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, Lance Berkman. Cashmere to the wind. 3-1 pitch up and in, ball 4.
Now what you're looking for if you're an Indian after a 3-run inning with the Ranger leadoff man for the middle of the order.
Cashmere with the walk. That's his second of the game. And Lance Berkman, who went down swinging his first at bat, will step in. Berkman at 264. Lance really in a downturn offensively. It's been a struggle for him lately. He has just 1 RBI in his last 12 ball games.
Yeah, Lance had a chance in the game yesterday, in the extra inning game. Not yesterday, but the day before. I think it was first and third with 1 out. Man on third anyway. Less than 2 outs. A little ground ball back to the pitcher. Got jammed on a curveball.
First pitch to him is fouled straight back. It is 0-1. Lance is 2 for his last 26. He's had 9 strikeouts in that span, which is very unlike him. Berkman, not a big strikeout guy. He's still getting some walks. He's still 9th in the American League with 33 walks. But the strikeouts climbing at kind of an alarming rate for Lance Berkman. 0-2 now as Cashmere hits the inside corner. Berkman wagging that bat around, and Murphy the lead from first. Popped foul. That will slice back into the crowd over the Ranger dugout. It remains no balls and 2 strikes. Last time Lance Berkman faced the Cleveland Indians, other than spring training, was 2001. That's how long it's been for Lance to see some of these teams in the American League. Cashmere is set. Checking Murphy, and he will go that way with a throw. Left-hander's ready one more time. High and tight. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Berkman trying to move Murphy along somehow. Pitch inside, and Gomes has to go behind Berkman to make the catch there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cashmere trying to figure out what he has to do to put somebody away. He's had problems since the first inning. Almost all fastballs for Cashmere, and it was fine early, but he's gotten a little bit off track. Rangers touching for a run last inning. They have their leadoff man aboard here in the 3rd inning. Now the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. Well, the count is full, and we'll see what Ron Washington does with David Murphy at first base and nobody out. Got Adrian Beltre waiting in the on-deck circle, which will have a bearing on whether Wash turns Murphy loose or not. Murphy has stepped off a pretty good lead over there, though. Cashmere sets a check at first. And the payoff pitch with Murphy going. It's fouled back. Cashmere the high leg lift that time, and Murphy had to wait to make sure that he was going to the plate before he took off. Gomes out to say something to the 29-year-old Houstonian, Scott Cashmere. Again, Murph getting a pretty good lead over there at first. Once more, the payoff pitch. Chopper diving stop Oh, a great play by Reynolds. He gets up and throws him out. The throw to third, and they got him there.
That's an amazing turn of events right there. That ball easily could have been down the left field corner for a run and a double. And that was a spectacular play by a big guy. Reynolds, a big guy at third base, to show the agility to make the play, roll over, and then make an accurate throw like that. Just amazing. And stayed in position to get the throw back from Santana to turn this into a double play. Looks like it might get down the line for a double. Diving play. All right, fine. First and second, nobody out. Instead, Reynolds jumps up and makes the play at first base. David trying to sneak into third is gunned down by Santana.
Holy cow. Well, now they're going to say
not out at first.
Berkman was safe.
Oh, okay.
Dave Anderson standing there as Terry Francona is talking to the first base umpire, Mark Wegner.
Thought he was out at first.
It was still a great play.
Let's take another look at it.
Mark Wegner making the call right there. I didn't see
off
that
the
happen.
back. I just watched him make the play. Thought he was out.
So take away one out. Now Berkman at first with one out for Adrian Beltre. It's going to be a single awarded to Lance Berkman. So Murphy erased though on a 5-3-5 put out. And Beltre pops the first pitch foul out of play down the first base side. It is 0-1. We'll take a look at the Ford leaderboard and show you the longest hitting streaks going in the American League. Adrian Beltre right there at the top with 14 straight. Iglesias, Pedroia, and Kyle Seager. A couple of Red Sox and a Mariner next with 13 game hitting streaks. 0-1 to Beltre. Hit high in the air. Deep left center field, but not deep enough as Bourne back makes the catch. Gets the ball back in quickly to keep Berkman at first. That is out number 2, and Adrian Beltre just getting under it a tad. Well, fans, Father's Day is this Sunday. It's June 16th, and there's no better way to celebrate than a trip to Rangers Ballpark. Treat your dad to the game on Sunday against the Toronto Blue Jays. The first 25,000 fans 14 and older will receive a special Rangers cap courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest. Tickets are available at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. 1 on, 2 out. Here is Nelly Cruz, and he takes an off-speed delivery for strike 1. Cruz, a fly ball to right, his first time up. Berkman a modest lead at first. Pitch way inside. 1-1 to Cruz. Nelly, who had been in an 0 for 12 streak until that solo home run in the 4th inning yesterday. Takes low. And the road trip was not kind to Nelly either. Just 4 for 22. But he did some damage when he was able to get the base hits. He had 3 RBI with those 4 hits. 2 of them were home runs. 2-1 the count to him here in the 3rd inning. That's out of play down the right side. Cruz hitting at an even 260. He is the team leader with the 15 home runs and 42 runs driven in. He's got Berkman at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. And a rip at that off-speed pitch and fouled it straight back. Still 2-2. Gomes flashing the signs out. Kazmir has the one he wants, the left-hander. Comes back to the plate and misses inside, just off the inside corner. The count has gone full to Cruz. Kazmir slapping his glove. He wanted that pitch. I wanted to, but it was about 4 inches inside.
Yeah. Well, I'd take it if he gave it to me, but really didn't quite deserve it. Not in the strike zone.
So full count, 2 outs. Berkman will be off and moving. There he goes. Payoff pitch is looped up the middle. Right to the second baseman, Kipnis on one hop. On to first, that will do it. Well, the Rangers get a hit. They leave a runner. We're going to the 4th inning in Arlington. It's the Indians 3, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Very big weekend for the Texas Rangers as they participated in the first-year player draft here now with the top 3 picks in that draft, all of which have been signed by the Texas Rangers. We'll begin with the first one. Alex Chichi Gonzalez, the right-handed pitcher out of Oral Roberts. Alex, first of all, just the excitement of getting that call at pick number 23.
Oh, I was very excited, very happy, very fortunate. Thank God every minute I can. And I was very happy when it all happened for my family and I.
You got drafted right out of high school by the Orioles, decided to go to Oral Roberts. Had a great career there. I got to ask you the meaning behind the nickname Chi-Chi.
Well, both of my sisters are older than I'm a baby. They both had nicknames, and my uncle had to give me a nickname too, so he named me Chi-Chi.
Okay, and it stuck because it was in the press release, so you realize this is with you now forever.
Yes, I'm comfortable being called Chi-Chi.
Okay, all right. He is Chi-Chi. Now we've got Travis Demerit, who is the shortstop out of high school. And Travis, I guess just what was that call like for you? Pick number 30 in the first round.
I can't even explain it. It was a dream come true. I've been waiting on this forever. I've been dreaming about this forever. So I was very excited, as you can see. So it's nerve-wracking, but I'm ready to go and get out and chase my dream.
Absolutely, and you will start in Surprise, Arizona, as will this guy right here. Akeem, you're a tall drink of water, I should say. Another right-handed pitcher. This one committed to South Carolina. You committed to Georgia Southern. I apologize. You were committed to South Carolina. You decided to, instead of going to college, to go ahead and get started on your professional career. Just talk about that decision and how excited you are to be with the Rangers.
Well, I mean, I'm very excited to be with the Rangers, and that was pretty much a no-brainer decision because since I was 6, all I could dream about was playing professional baseball, and then it arose, and then I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to take this.
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer, too. It'd be a no-brainer for me, too. Akeem Bostic, Alex Chi-Chi Gonzalez, and Travis Demerit, congratulations to all 3 of you guys. Another big draft for the Texas Rangers, fellas.
All right, Em, thank you. Nelly Cruz handling that off the bat of Jan Gomes. So that's out number 2 in the inning. And Mike Aviles, who began all the problems in the 3rd inning, will come to the plate.
You love to get your guys signed quickly like that so they can join their minor league team, get there with everybody else, meet all the players, get that first year under your belt. So many times in the past you would see kids decide to sign right at the end, miss that first year, show up for spring training for the first time the next year to meet their teammates. It's just, I think, much more easy to get your career started right off the bat with kids your own age at the level you're supposed to be at. Get your 200 at bats or your 40 or 50 innings you're going to get, and get on with your career. If you want to be a ball player, go for it.
Next pitch foul back by Aviles, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Aviles is single right behind second base. Elvis tried to throw him out and couldn't quite get it done. That ball hit high in the air. It'll chase Murphy back, but he'll stop shy of the warning track. Murph puts it away, and it's a 1-2-3 4th inning. Bill Lindblom rebounds and sends the Indians out in order after 3.5. Cleveland 3, Texas 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. Morning at 10 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest for Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. Now the Rangers come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. They are trailing 3-1. It'll be A.J. Pierzynski, Jeff Baker, and Craig Gentry to face Scott Kazmir. Kazmir's allowed the 1 run on 3 hits, and Pierzynski looks at strike 1. A.J. had a single that got the Ranger run production started in the 2nd inning. He came around to score on Craig Gentry's 2-out RBI base hit. And strike 2 is dealt by the left-hander Kazmir. That's pulled to right field for a base hit. Boy, A.J. grounds one in the hole to the left side, first time up. Now pulls one that stayed up for him, and he is 2 for 2.
A.J., he makes some contact. He's going to put the ball in play. And they've been falling in for him. Looked like a slider outside corner. Yanked that ball in the hole. Oh, another good start for the Rangers. They have the leadoff man. Had the leadoff man on last inning. Couldn't move him around. That was David Murphy, who walked. Can get something going this inning. Got a bunch of guys on base.
First pitch to Jeff Baker is high and inside for ball 1. See the first at bat. Jeff did walk, as Tom told you, and We'd love to keep this roll going here in the 4th inning. Kazmir, a check of first base. And the pitch to Baker is low and outside. 2-0. Baker's making his 4th start of the year at first base here tonight. With the left-hander Kazmir on the mound, and Chris McGinnis, despite having a couple of hits yesterday, Ron Washington kind of picking and choosing which left-handers McGinnis will face. And a strike at the knees makes it 2-1. Baker back in. Jeff hitting out of that slightly open stance, as you can see. Next pitch to him. That ball's hit high in the air, deep down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. Goodbye. Baker continuing to feast on left-handers. His 9th home run of the year. We have a brand new ball game, tied at 3.
He took the 2-0 fastball for a strike and then hit a changeup out of the ballpark. Off-speed pitch, waited on it beautifully. Ron Washington, you're just trying to find any way you can to keep that bat in the lineup. I don't care if he's facing right-handers or left-handers. That guy can hit. It's a changeup right down the middle of the plate and waited on it just long enough to keep it fair and hit it out of the ballpark.
Well, that knocks things back up here at Rangers ballpark. Ball down the line and well back into the seats. So Baker now 9 home runs, 16 RBI.
He's only been up 78 times.
That's an amazing run to start a year for Baker. Foul back by Greg Gentry, and that moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Jeff had a year in Colorado where he hit 12 home runs. That was in 299 at bats, so he's got a great chance to eclipse that. The way he's swinging, probably before the All-Star break.
Kazmir studying the signs. Gentry waiting. Now time called as Gentry tired of waiting and backs out. Greg, the RBI single for his 9th run driven in this year. And batting average now at .238. 0-2 pitch on the way. Call strike 3. Breaking ball, and that chewed on the inside corner. 4th strikeout for Kazmir.
Kazmir's
pitched out.
Pitched 50 innings. He's given up now 9 home runs, so he has been a little prone to the home run. Pretty good curveball right there.
Jurickson Profar on via a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Shallow right field. Swisher toward the line. Wynn plays tricks with it and pushes it back a bit, but Swisher stays with it for out number 2. Profar retired on 1 pitch. And now back to the top of the order for Elvis Andrus. Folks, you have a chance to meet Rangers pitcher Justin Grimm tomorrow at the Arlington location on South Collins at I-20. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and to meet one of your Texas Rangers at Whataburger. Elvis has struck out both times that he has faced Kazmir tonight. Takes a belt-high strike. Tail of the tape on Baker's drive, by the way, 369 feet. 0-1 pitch to Elvis. Over the mound, over second, and into center field, a base hit. Well, it makes up for one of the hard hit balls Elvis had over the last road trip that didn't find the ground safely. So Andrus with good speed now aboard. And David Murphy coming up. Murph walked his last time up there. snap throw by Casimir to first, and Santana had to dance all around Elvis, who was diving back. Murph for that walk, also grounded out to first in the first. Takes a strike at the knees. A single by Elvis, by the way, extends his hitting streak against the Cleveland Indians to 33 consecutive games. That's all the games that Elvis has played against the Tribe in his career. Murphy shoots one foul to the left, and it's 0-2. He asks where that stands. Well, he just passed up Paul Molitor and Dave Parker on the list of longest hitting streaks against one opponent. This goes back to the war years of 1945. Elvis against Cleveland. The tops on this list, and Ranger fans will remember this, Vlad Guerrero had that 44-game hitting streak against the Rangers. They've gone on strikes. That'll do it, but Jeff Baker pounded the off-speed pitch from Scott Casimir into the left field seats. A 2-run blast for the Rangers. We're going to the 5th inning. It's now the Rangers 3 and the Indians 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. Fifth, Michael Bourne, the top of the Indians order to lead things off. And Jeff Baker, home run Baker. That 2-run blast to even things up. And Josh Lindblom pours in a strike to Michael Bourne. Joining us, as always, in the booth in the 5th inning, co-host of Rangers Live, Mark McLemore. Pitch inside, 1-1. Mac, I appreciate you coming by, and you look good in your coat and tie, your tie and everything. I like that.
Thank
It's
you.
a good looking tie. Yeah.
Well, you guys look good in your matching shirts. I like that.
Yeah, we shop at the same store. People, how many people today did you have to talk off the ledge after the 2 and 4 road trip? A lot of them, or are folks kind of calmed down by now?
Quite a few. I had a couple people tell me that Elvis needed to be traded because he was 1 for 15.
Okay.
And I said, well, you can't trade everybody when they go 0 for 10. You know, so yeah, there are a few people that tend to panic when things don't go, you know, when the Rangers don't win every game.
Sure.
Or someone doesn't get a hit every time up, or a pitcher doesn't throw a shutout every time out. You know.
Well, I tell you what, and you remember this not as well as Tom and I do, but there was a time when people didn't care, and this is much better.
This is so much better. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I mean, there were just a few short years ago, you couldn't give tickets away.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is much better. People care now.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But it's, you know, it's easy. I think in baseball, it's very easy for the fan that is so invested over the long course of a year and can't do anything to physically put themselves on the line. They get frustrated, you know, and it's understandable. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I just don't want them to going too far. Swing and a miss. Bourne gone on strikes for the second time tonight. And Lindblom now with 5 strikeouts.
That was a good changeup right there. At any given time tonight, you've seen good movement on his fastball, a big curveball that he's had success with, a pretty good slider. That's a pretty nice changeup.
One gone. Here is Jason Kipnis. Singled and scored his last time up. That last road trip, and I know you were watching everything along with us watching it. Hard to imagine that the club we saw before we went on the road was the same one that went on the road. You know, I mean, it just, I guess it points out the difference of how well the team plays here in Rangers ballpark compared to what happened in a couple of tough places to play in Fenway and up in Rogers Center.
A very different ball club, you know, from the time they left to the time they got on the road.
David Murphy going to the gap. He has time to get there and makes the catch. That's out number 2.
You know, that's that old saying, what a difference a day makes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were playing great at home and went on the road, and things just seemed to, I don't know, the wheels just seemed to fall off, especially that first game, 17-5. And then the marathon game where nothing seemed to go right.
Yeah.
Opportunity after opportunity, and, you know, it seemed as though every time there was an opportunity, something went wrong to not be able to cash in on that opportunity.
And Tom and I have talked about it. I think that statistic of hitting with runners in scoring position, for me anyway, is a little bit overrated. I'd much rather see how many times do you not score a guy from third with less than 2 outs, whether it be with a hit or with a walk or with an infield out or a fly ball or something like that. And to me, it kind of seems like the Rangers are having more problems doing that than they are just getting base hits.
You're right. You're absolutely right. That runner at third base with less than 2 outs, that's much more meaningful than getting a hit with a runner in scoring position. Yes, you want to get that hit with a runner in scoring position, but that runner at third base, you've got to convert that more than 50% of the time, and that's the one that's more important. The hit with a runner in scoring position, that's a lot tougher to do. And people don't really realize that, because even if there's not a runner in scoring position, how often do players get a hit anyway with a runner on first base? So that's much more difficult. So that stat, I think, gets blown out of proportion.
Well, if you're a 280 hitter and you hit 280 with men in scoring position, then that's very solid. But it's still only 28% of the time. When you come up with a man on third base in less than 2 outs, you better do better than 28% of the time. You got to figure out a way to get that run in.
Swisher, a ground ball to the left side. The only one over there is Adrian Beltre, and he covers the ground to handle it. No, it's another 1-2-3 inning. Lindblom now has retired 7 straight. Halfway through the ball game, Rangers 3, Indians 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. night through August the 13th and enter to win free Rangers tickets and a VIP Rangers experience. Visit otbfanzone.com for more details. Rangers come to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, a 3-3 game. It'll be Berkman, Beltre, and Cruz to face the left-hander, Scott Kazmir. Chatting with Mark McLemore as Berkman drives one to right field, but Swisher over to his right makes the grab. 1 pitch, 1 away. They refuse, Mac, to let us get a couple of words in edgewise before a pitch is put in play. What? Don't they know I've got a lot of questions for you?
You know, I think it's these National League guys going up there swinging at the first pitch, you know?
That's right. Could be. Could be. We could have used a couple of them up in Toronto in that 18-inning game.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you see the final pitch total in that game? 528 pitches.
That's just...
And there weren't a whole lot of good ones at times. You go a whole inning or so without them. Yeah, that's a long time.
Now, what's the average amount of pitches a team throws in one game?
Probably 150, 140 to 150.
So actually, it was a low pitch count.
Yeah.
For 18 innings.
Yeah. Adrian Beltre, a pop out and a fly ball to center. Takes that pitch right on the outside corner. It's 1-1.
I mean, when you look at it, 5.5 hours, you look at 18 innings, 5.5 hours on the road, on turf, on bad turf, the worst turf in the league.
Is that harder to play on? Is it harder on your legs, that turf there?
Yes, it is. That really is. The newer turf, you know, with the, infield in it, the rubber in it, at least that's got cushion in it.
Yeah.
That old turf in Toronto, because they've got the planks in it that's removable, that's tough to play on.
2-1. And Adrian takes high. It's 3 balls and a strike. Beltre trying to get aboard with 1 out. Nelson Cruz waits in the on-deck circle. Kazmir about ready to throw his 80th pitch of the night. And Beltre shoots it foul down the right side, back into the seats. And it's 3-2. Kazmir right on top of the pitching rubber, goes into the motion. Payoff pitch is chopped foul, and Adrian a little trouble getting back up. With his hamstring problems, I hate to see every time he goes down that I'm just waiting for the time that he has to be helped back up.
He really takes a beating on those legs. Legs, ankles, knees, because he fouls so many balls off of his lower extremities.
And won't wear a shin guard, huh?
Whew. That's unbelievable. Tag, were you a player that fouled balls off your legs?
I swung and missed. I never had to worry about that. Never even considered wearing a padding on my leg. I either hit it or swung and missed. I just didn't. And I didn't hit as many as I swung and missed at. I know that. I used to swing at the high fastball, so they didn't throw me down that much. I could hit the low pitch pretty good. I never saw a high fastball I didn't like, even if it was about a foot out of the strike zone.
And Beltre drives one to center field again, but that's almost the same spot that Michael Bourne was last time up. He makes the grab on this one, too. And with 2 out, let's head over for a Mazda game break with Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana. Here it's a 3-3 ball game as Nelly Cruz comes to the plate. 2 outs, bases empty in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cruz has flied to right field and grounded to second. Takes an off-speed pitch, cut fastball, I should say, in there for a strike. We were feeling pretty bad about the 18 innings that we put in on Saturday. Till we found out the Mets and Marlins went 20. Then it didn't feel quite as bad.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, Ross Wolf pitched 6 2/3, and there was 2 guys in that game that pitched more than he did in relief.
Rangers gone in order. Mac, thanks for joining us. We will catch you after the game on Rangers Live.
All right, fellas.
3-3 the score. On to the 6th inning we go. To you by the all-new Mazda 6. When you change everything, you change everything. A beautiful evening here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. 3-3 the score as Josh Lindblom back to the mound to start the 6th inning. He will face the middle third of the Indians' order, Brantley, Santana, and Reynolds.
He settled down pretty nicely after that 3-run double. He's retired 7 straight with 3 strikeouts. Starting to get his secondary pitches over a little bit better right now. His curveball, slider, and his changeup. I'm putting it together right now. He's at 89 pitches. So hopefully he'll be able to get through the 6th inning and end on a strong note right here.
Brantley 1 for 2 tonight. Had a first inning single, also popped out to second. 1 ball, no strikes. And that pop out to second, as you see Robbie Ross getting ready to go in the Ranger bullpen. Pop out to second looked like it had gotten Lindblom out of a real ticklish spot in the 3rd inning, and the bases loaded and 1 out. This one pulled on the ground that Jeff Baker gobbles up, takes to the bag, and that is out number 1. Well, 1 away. Carlos Santana coming to the plate, and coming to all of you by way of the camera will be Jim Knox. Hello, Jim.
Oh, I appreciate it, Buzz. Real quick, tomorrow night, big night at the ballpark. First 20,000 fans receive this nice Yu Darvish K bobblehead doll. That's right, you can count up the strikeouts for Yu Darvish. And what do you think about this little guy?
It's cool.
All right, now it's her birthday. You don't mind me giving this to her, do you?
Don't give it to her. Give it to me.
Okay. Well, here you go. Happy birthday. We'll get you another one, little guy, okay? There we go, big guy. Thanks. All right, Buzz, tomorrow night.
I'm thinking that's one of the best bobbleheads I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It looks just like them. Usually, they have some kind of resemblance. That one looks a lot like you. It's got the same kind of blank expression on his face when he's pitching. He's got the leg kick, strikeout counter. That's a good one right there.
Yes, it is. I like the idea of the strikeout counter, too. That always going to come in handy. Pitch inside to Santana. That moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. Santana, the big hit as far as the Indians are concerned tonight. That bases clearing double with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Fisted him. And a roller out to Elvis. It's by Elvis to Profil. He's there and makes the play.
That's a configuration you won't see very much. The shortstop diving in front of the second baseman.
I think Elvis forgot that Profar was back there.
I think he thought he might have an easier play if he could have picked it up. That Jurickson kind of on his heels. He has to fire that ball.
No.
From out in right field.
I better get down here. Elvis is like he's going into second to break up the double play. You better get that head down. No, 2 outs very quickly, and now Mark Reynolds is the hitter. A rip and a miss. And a Lindblom fastball.
Well, Josh had a couple of innings, the first and the third, where he struggled with his command, had to throw a lot of pitches in those 2 innings. But since that time, the fourth, fifth, and 2 outs in the sixth, he has recovered nicely. Love the way he's finishing right here.
1-1 to Reynolds, who has grounded to third and struck out tonight. 237 the average. Reynolds, of course, a lot of power. 13 home runs. We'll tell you all about that. A lot of strikeouts, too. You take one with the other. Know that he's going to strike out if you play him every day, upwards of 180, 200 times or more. He's going to hit you a lot of home runs. Two-one pitch on the way. 2-2. You're just advised that if you're planning to come out tomorrow for the Yu Darvish bobblehead night, get your tickets now. Go to TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. Only 4,500 reserved tickets, reserved seats, left for tomorrow night, approximately. 3-2 to Reynolds. So you better, if you're planning on coming out, get your tickets now. Or at least between innings. That man won't need a ticket for tomorrow night, but he will be here. Lindblom to the wind. The payoff pitch coming to Reynolds. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 6 for Josh Lindblom. He's retired the last 10. We finished 5.5. The Rangers 3, the Indians 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. Well, it's that time again for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $600 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Ernest Walt from Rockwall. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Ernest Walt from Rockwell will be a very popular man out there and also win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Here's A.J. Przinsky to start things off, and A.J. rips at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. It is 0-1. Przinsky has singled twice and scored twice. Singled with 2 outs in the second inning, and Craig Gentry brought him home with a base hit. It's fouled away to the left. It's 0-2. Brzezinski led off the fourth with a single, and Jeff Baker drove him home with the home run. Gomes out to have a talk with Kazmir. I don't think that last pitch was exactly what Gomes had in mind for an 0-1. AJ at 307 with the average. 4 home runs, 16 driven in. Off the end of the bat, slow roller out to second. Kipnis will throw him out. Brzezinski retired for the first time tonight, 1 away, and Jeff Baker coming up. Kazmir, who has not retired Baker tonight, in our AT&T Uverse reverse replay. Last time up, a 2-1 changeup that Baker smoked right on out of here. Right down the left field line, about halfway back in the lower seating bowl out there. 369 feet from where it started. 9 home runs, 16 RBI for Jeff Baker. 1-1 the count. Kazmir back to it. 1-2. Jeff a little bit fooled on whatever he was looking for there. That wasn't it. That wasn't the swing he wanted to have.
That was a good fastball. Outside corner, tailing away from him. Probably going to stay away from the changeup this at bat.
Looped into right field. Swisher coming on. Makes the grab. 2 gone. Well, Baker retired for the first time tonight. And now Craig Gentry coming up. And before Gentry steps in, let's head down to Emily Jones. Em?
Well, you saw Jeff Baker's production earlier in this game, and it's been that way pretty much all season. It appears he has this utility thing down pat.
You know, I just try to stay with my preparation, and when my name's called and I'm in the lineup, just go out there and try to be productive. And, you know, whoever you're kind of in the lineup for that day, you know, give them a blow, and then also go out there and try to be productive, try to win that game that day, and, you know, just kind of roll with that.
Definitely makes things easier on Ron Washington when you've got a guy like Jeff Baker who can do so many things defensively and then gives you a bat to boot, guys.
Thanks, Emily. Yeah, no doubt about that. And it's been a long time since the Rangers have had a guy like Jeff Baker that not only could fulfill the utility role, but could be a force coming off the bench as a pinch hitter or a replacement from time to time for anybody in the lineup. 1-1 pitch to Gentry. It's off the outside corner. It's 2-1. Kazmir getting up close to that 100 pitch mark. Looper to right field. Coming on is Swisher and makes the catch up above cap high. And that will do it. So Kazmir now has retired 7 straight. We're going to the 7th inning at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. 3-3 the score on Fox Sports Southwest. For you, 3-3 the score, and a lot of scoring, all the scoring done early, I should say. Carlos Santana, 3-run double in the third. Got all the runs across for Cleveland. And Jeff Baker's 2-run home run in the fourth inning tied the ball game, and we have been dead even ever since as we head to the seventh inning. And at the end of 6 innings for Josh Lindblom, Mike Maddox walked over and said, "That's it for you, big fella." Very, very good job of finishing things off. He retired the last 10 men that he faced.
Four of them on strikes.
Yep.
1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
Now Robbie Ross has taken over.
Yep, Robbie sporting some pretty solid numbers. Good solid amount of innings, too. He's looking at throwing 75 or 80 innings this year, possibly.
And the first pitch to Jason Giambi is fouled back. It is 0-1. Giambi is lined to right field and struck out. Well, the numbers for Josh Lindblom, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. And that 1 walk, if he could take back anything, would have probably been it. He walked Nick Swisher in that third inning to end up loading the bases. And that really put him in a bind. But Josh did a real good job tonight finishing off the outing. 2-1, the count to Giambi. Ross back to the plate. And it's 3-1. Giambi trying to get aboard to start the Indians' 7th inning. He'll be followed by Yan Gomes. Ball 4. Robbie Ross, the leadoff walk. That is not how you want to start the 7th inning. And there'll be a pinch runner for Giambi. They have a pinch runner coming on right now. That's Ryan Rayburn.
We were talking about some similarities. There's Kobe Lewis throwing his curveball. And here's Josh Lindblom throwing his curveball. Nothing's going to be exact, but 2 big guys, similar deliveries, similar type curveballs. And if Josh can refine his stuff and end up pitching like Kobe Lewis, he's going to be one happy starting pitcher.
Yan Gomes going after that first Robbie Ross fastball, fouls it straight back. So Ryan Rayburn, the runner now at first base, pinch running, and Gomes at the plate is 0 for 2. A ground ball to third and a line drive to right. Rayburn inching off the bag. Ross checks it. Fouled back, and it is 0-2.
He helped him out a little bit there. That pitch looked like it was down and in.
Gomes has had 1 at bat against Robbie Ross, and he struck out. Matchup last year. Rangers looking for that double play at an infielder. Be able to turn the 2 and get Rayburn off the base. Call strike 3. A natural cut fastball by Robbie Ross came in the back door, and Gomes caught window shopping. That is out number 1.
Tough combination for a hitter. The one down and in. He got him to swing at that one. Then he hits the other side of the plate with a cutter and gets the call on it. Right, barely touching that outside corner. Almost impossible pitch to hit.
Now Mike Aviles will come to the plate. Aviles an infield single and 2 trips. And he looks to strike 1. See Aviles at 268 now with the average. Rayburn, the lead from first as Ross sets. Fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes. Robbie getting up there 94 miles an hour.
Yeah, Robbie was throwing hard in Toronto the other day. In fact, he popped one at 95 miles an hour, and a lot of them were 93, 94. And he had that little cutting action to it. That's a pretty tough pitch for a hitter.
The 0-2. Got him swinging. 95 up about chin high, and the Eagles can't get on top of that.
Bobby says, I'm a little bit upset with that leadoff walk. I'm going to take matters into my own hands with these two guys.
So the leadoff walk, then back-to-back punch-outs. And Michael Bourne, the hitter. Bourne tonight has struck out twice and fouled out to David Murphy. 0-1 on the foul ball. Ross set. And hits the outside corner. Good fastball.
He's dealing after that walk, boy.
Yes, he is. He got him mad.
Sure did.
Well, he has still never retired Jason Giambi. Robbie gave up 2 hits and a walk now to Giambi in the times he's facing, so well, understandable. 0-2 pitch. Chopper slapped down the left side and foul over the head of third base coach Brad Mills. And we'll come back and try it again at 0-2. 3-3 ball game tonight. Rangers have out hit the Indians 6-5. Nice crowd, somewhere in the neighborhood of 30,000 on hand to watch the first of 11 games here in Rangers ballpark for this homestand. Ross a little bluff move to first. That drove Rayburn back. 0-2 the count as Ross gets ready. Got him swinging.
Wow.
3 consecutive strikeouts after the leadoff walk. And that sends us to the 7th inning stretch. Rangers 3, Indians 3, Fox Sports Southwest. Damage done Brzezinski and Baker. Also Craig Gentry with an RBI single. With Baker's 2-run home run with A.J. Brzezinski aboard. Got the Rangers even, and that's where we are as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Jurickson Profar leading things off. Shows bunt, takes the pitch just off the outside corner. It is ball 1. Profar 0 for 2. On via a fielder's choice in the 2nd, then fly to right in the 4th inning. Kazmir with a 1-0 pitch. Knee-high strike. evens the count. The lefty back to the plate. 2-1 now. So far, you go back over the course of the last road trip and here tonight. He's 4 for his last 28 at a 143 average. Hits it pretty well to right field. Swisher going back. Still going back. It's over his head and up against the wall. Profar cruising into second with a leadoff double in a 3-3 ball game.
Well, Swisher playing pretty shallow out in right field. And Jurickson showed he had enough power to drive it over his head. I thought at first when Nick was running after that ball, he had a beat on it. Then when he stuck his glove up in the air, pretty obvious he wasn't going to get it. Jurickson gets a high fastball out over the plate. Big swing at it and enough power just to get it over Swisher's head. But again, Swisher playing pretty shallow. He's playing Elvis pretty shallow right now, too.
Yeah.
Very shallow in right field.
You know, and Elvis in a situation now where it will probably be up to him whether he tries to bunt to get Profar over or whether he takes a shot at it swinging-wise.
Well, Elvis has probably hit 10 balls this year that have been caught that would go over Swisher's head, although he's moving back a little bit right now. Wind not quite as big a factor as it is some games.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, Elvis singled his last time up. Bounced a single right through the middle of the diamond. Other than that, he has struck out a couple of times. And a pickoff play at second, diving back in is Profar. The Indians with their cornermen, Reynolds and Santana up. They are protecting against the possibility of a bunt. Elvis, of course, one of the top sacrifice bunt people in the American League. He is second in the American League with 5 of them. No bunt here, and he takes a strike to the inside corner. Kazner working that first pitch inside to Elvis in case he was swinging. Nick Hagedorn and Cody Allen. Hagedorn, the left-hander. 0-1 the count. Late cut if you're trying to take the ball the other way, and now it's 0-2 to Elvis. And this is where you just have to get him over somehow. Even with 2 strikes, Elvis still needs to get him over there. Work the ball to the right side somehow. And Elvis, of course, handles the bat well enough to do that. 0-2 pitch. He gets that done. A hopper off Santana. Picked up by Kipnis. The throw is late. Everybody's safe.
Pretty nice job by Elvis.
Yes,
right
it
there.
was.
No balls and 2 strikes, doing exactly what he wanted to do right from the start. Hit a tough ball for Santana to handle and then beat the throw from Kipnis.
Yeah, they're going to give Elvis a base hit, and rightfully so.
Yeah, it took a little bit of a hop on Santana. Knocked it down, and Elvis beat it out. That's very good job of hitting right there.
But Terry Francona out to the hill. Yeah, outstanding job by Elvis. Not to get the base hit, but to get the job done in the first place. And then the game rewarded Elvis, as Wash would say, with the hit to boot. So runners at the corners, nobody out, a pitching change underway. Scott Kazmir finished after 6+ innings of work. And we're going to get the left-hander Nick Hagedorn coming in. Be right back after this. America, a nationwide network of food banks that helps feed more than 37 million people a year in our country. Visit feedingamerica.org/Fox Sports to learn more on how you can fight hunger in your community. Together, we're feeding America. The left-hander Nick Hagedorn is on now with runners at first and third, nobody out. David Murphy will face him. 21st appearance of the year for the left-hander. Murphy pulls one to first. Santana steps on the bag, and now Profar is headed toward, no, he's not. He's going to make the throw to third, and out at third base is Profar. Oh, my.
It was almost a good piece of base running. If he got back, he would have kept it from being a double play. Would have been men on second and third, but unfortunately, he didn't get back. It's one of those tough turns of event. First and third, nobody out. Hard hit ball right at the first baseman. He makes a nice play. He's keeping the runner in mind at third base. That last step is what kept him from getting back to third base.
So now Elvis at second, 2 outs. Lance Berkman, who is 1 for 3, comes to the plate. All the way to the backstop. That caroms away. And Yan Gomes out almost to halfway to the first base. And Elvis to third on the wild pitch. Well, I take that back. Might have been a pass ball. They are scoring a wild pitch, huh? Okay. 1-0, the count to Berkman. Berkman a drive. Deep to left field. If it's fair, this one's gone. Goodbye. Lance Berkman, the second 2-run home run for the Rangers tonight. It is 5-3 Texas.
That kind of takes the sting out of that double play, doesn't it? Looked like the Indians might have pitched their way out of a first and third no-out jam. They got the unusual double play, but Lance Berkman spoiled the attempt to put a 0 up in that inning by hitting it out of the ballpark.
Well, that's going to do it for Nick Hagedorn, as Lance Berkman, with his 5th home run of the year, has put the Rangers on top by a pair. So another pitching change underway. We will take another timeout after you watch Lance Berkman drive it right on out of here. 5-3 Texas. Back after this. effect tonight. Two of them, and the Rangers lead 5-3, and you get no respect on the Ranger bench. Watch Kinsler and Jamie Reed there as Berkman comes into the dugout after the two-run home run. They're sleeping. So something happened. Lance had to wake him up.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Anything for a laugh.
Adrian Beltre is the hitter.
You might be making fun of it, but I've hit a few home runs in my career.
Yeah. One or two.
Let's find out how many. 360.
Yeah, 365.
365 home runs.
High and tight to Adrian Beltre. There's Lance Berkman, his 5th of the year. He now has 31 RBI. 376 feet worth of two-run home run. 2-0 pitch is low and outside, and Adrian now with the advantage in the count facing Cody Allen, right-hander on for the Cleveland Indians. Allen back to the plate. Adrian the green light, and he was a little tardy.
Allen's got some pretty good numbers. 27 2/3, only giving up 18 hits, a 182 opponent's batting average. 36 strikeouts. He's bringing some heat.
The 3-1. And it's low, ball 4. Beltre aboard for the first time tonight. He's on with a walk, and let's take a Mazda game break now. Once again, here's Dana Larson. Dana? All right, Dana, thank you. I can see where Lackey would be a little upset after leading 6-0 and giving it back.
Yeah. Gave it back gradually, too.
Yeah.
They'd make it 6-3 and then 3 solo innings with a run.
Nelly Cruz 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of ground balls and a fly ball to right. Beltre at first. And Allen's pitch is right down through there. It's 1-1. The Rangers looked like they had a chance to have run themselves out of a great situation in the 7th inning. They had runners at first and third, nobody out. And Murphy hit a shot right at the first baseman, Santana. Turned into a unusual 3-6-5 double play. And then Lance Berkman did this. Nick Hagedorn, all he can do is stand there and say, you got to be kidding me. Did I just do that?
Yeah, that ball was in the stands for about 5 seconds while he was staring at it. Didn't take that long to get out there.
1-2 pitch to Cruz. 2-2 now. Nelly with the average of 258 as he faces Allen. Right-hander comes set, a check of Beltre. Very modest lead at first. And the 2-2, low and outside. The count is full. Well, with 2 outs, Beltre will wind it up, be off and moving. Nelly trying to extend the inning by getting aboard in front of A.J. Przinsky. Gomes. The sign. Allen okays and comes set. Payoff pitch on the way. Line toward gap in left center field. Way back up the alley. It is off the wall. Beltre being waved around third. The relay throw is not in time as Beltre took it easy and still made it. Nelly Cruz, the RBI double. It is 6-3 Texas.
He turned that low fastball around. And the only thing you worry about is with luckily Adrian was running on the play, and he's able to score. You know, you watch him, Buzz. He says he knows how to manage that injury, and he really does. You know, he ran just hard enough to score, but not hard enough to maybe pull that hamstring again.
Yeah, sometimes down in the strike zone isn't always the best.
No, that ball was turned around in a
especially when
hurry.
it's down in the middle of the strike zone. Oh, now a 3-run Ranger lead, and A.J. Pierzynski fouls off the first pitch. It is 0-1.
He's looking right now.
Yeah.
Now he has to speed up. He sees that the shortstop's going to throw.
Nobody gets away with anything. Not in that dugout. That's great.
Adrian's made fun of Elvis enough. Elvis has to get his shots when he can get them. After all, you watch Adrian play the game. How much can you make fun of him?
Down the left field line, and just in fair territory, Michael Brantley puts it away, and the inning comes to an end. But the Rangers score 3 times on 4 hits, and they leave one. Lance Berkman with a big 2-run blast will go to the 8th. 6-3 Texas. Fox Sports Southwest.
Now leading Cleveland 6-3. Buzz, real quick time to progressive fan of the game. It has to be Sherry and Debbie. They're twins, and they both teach at Ferris ISD, and they're retiring after how many years? 36 years. There you go. They love the Rangers so much, they decided to have the retirement party here. How about it for Sherry and Debbie? What are you going to miss most?
My students.
Your students? What about you?
All my teacher friends.
Not the students.
No, my teacher friends.
No way, the students. All right, well, congratulations. Here you go, progressive bag, and happy retirement. Way to go, ladies. Let's go. All right, thank you. Buzz.
All right, Knoxon. 36 years. Wow, that's great. Tanner Shepard's on now to take over in the 8th inning. And the first pitch to Jason Kipnis is lined right under the glove of Elvis Andrus. Elvis looked like he thought he had that about a foot from his glove, and then it kind of sank beneath it. And Kipnis will be aboard with a leadoff base hit.
You don't think Adrian's got a few words to say to him? You've been staring at him for about 10 seconds.
And numbers on Tanner Shepard. This is 30th appearance of the year, the team high 30th appearance. Nick Swisher at the plate, 1 for 2 tonight. Grounded out, walked, and single. And Shepard misses inside for ball 1. They changed that. They gave Elvis an error on that line drive. Rip and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How about the way that 96-mile-an-hour pitch sunk? The ball sinks like a splitter.
There's that line drive to Elvis. The 1-1 pitch. Pop foul. That will work its way back into the seats. And the count moves to 1-2. Well, for the Rangers, that error, the 34th of the year. Rangers have been on a bit of an error binge. Elvis collecting error number 6 for himself. The pitch fouled away. Remember, Elvis went the first 110 plus chances without an error this year, and then all of a sudden, since then, it's been about just about a month. He has gathered in 6 of them. Still 1-2 to Swisher. Nobody out. Kipnis, the runner at first base. Shepard drives him back with a throw. Vinny Pestano, the right-hander, loosening in the try pin. Tanner set to work. And again fouled back.
Swisher giving him a good battle.
Tanner worked in yesterday's ball game through an inning of scoreless relief. Only took him 7 pitches to work through the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they hit a couple balls hard off him, right at people. Don't normally see that against Tanner. Balls being hit hard.
And another foul ball by Swisher. Shepard's the 26-year-old Southern Californian. Now he's become Ron Washington's go-to guy in the 8th inning. Just exactly how it would be drawn up for the skipper. You had Robbie Ross in the 7th, Tanner Shepard's in the 8th. And if you need him, Joe Nathan for the 9th.
Well, Tanner definitely had the arm, but he had to earn the 8th inning and the confidence of Ron Washington. And as spring training went on and the season unfolded, he's definitely earned that confidence from his manager. He's thrown the ball great.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball, call strike 3.
He battled, fouled off a bunch of fastballs, but just wasn't quite ready to handle both the 96-mile-an-hour fastball and the hard curveball that he dropped in for a strike.
Well, he wrapped up Swisher like a mummy. That is out number 1. Now Michael Brantley coming up. Brantley 1 for 3. First inning single. Since then has popped out and grounded out. Kipnis still at first. Shepard's ready to work. And fires strike 1. Brantley has faced Tanner Shepard 1 time in his career, and Shepard struck him out. You see for Brantley that 286 average. A ball and a strike. Just over 33,000 on hand here tonight. Nice Monday night crowd. 33,003 to be exact in the ballpark this evening. Shepard comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. Foul. Outside first. Chris McGinnis is in the ball game at first base. Kind of sneaked in there to start this inning.
Yeah, either Jeff Baker would put a glove on, on the wrong hand, or it had to be someone new.
It is Chris McGinnis.
A quick reaction by Chris diving for that ball. was fair, he probably would have caught it.
Yeah, he would have. He had that bag covered. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count to Michael Brantley. AJ throwing that number 1 down there for the good fastball. Instead, Shepard drives Kipnis back with the toss. AJ. It's amazing what catchers do when they're thinking. They'll look all over the place and never look out at the pitcher. Look up at the hitter.
I like to look at the hitter to see if the hitter's trying to catch the sign or see if they can get anything by maybe he's changing his stance a little bit.
Watch where AJ, he'll look down at the third base coach. Look up at the hitter. Say, you wonder if they're, as a pitcher, you wonder when a guy starts doing that, if he's paying attention, if he knows you're out there. Then you look it over there. It's okay, here. Throw a sign down there. This is what I want you to throw. 2-2. Chop foul at home plate. We'll try it again. Brantley got that off of his right leg. As far as the Rangers are concerned, he can hit that leg a couple more times, slow him down a little bit. He got very good speed. Jeffers about ready to throw his 15th pitch of the inning. It has not been an easy inning by any means, but a ground ball at Profar or Elvis could make it a whole bunch easier right here. The 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Brantley stepping back in the batter's box. Shepard okays the sign. The right-hander deals to the plate. To left field, Murphy coming on. Ball hangs up for him. David makes the catch. Back to first goes Kipnis. And there are 2 outs. Well, remember the Twitter poll, the AT&T question that we asked you earlier in the game. Where's your favorite place to watch the Rangers play? 34% of you said behind the Rangers dugout. 32% gave what we consider the right answer on Fox Sports Southwest.
Very nice.
And there are the folks enjoying it from their favorite spot right behind, and in some cases on top of the Ranger dugout. 2 gone. Here is Carlos Santana, who is 1 for 3. Good curveball in from Shepard to make it 0-1. Santana has driven in all 3 runs, and they all came on that 3-run double back in the 3rd inning as he plugged the gap out there in right center with the bases full. Other than that, he has struck out, grounded to second. High tight fastball. It's 1-1. Rangers now have a shift on for Santana, the left-handed part of Santana's shift. The switch hitter up there is primarily a pull hitter, as you can see the infield in that overshift with Elvis good 5 or 6 feet to the first base side of second. Next pitch is popped up. Beltre into foul territory. Adrian out of the warning track, puts it away. Good job by Tanner Shepard to work around the leadoff error. Indians strand a runner. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Rangers 6, Indians 3. Fox Sports Southwest. How about 5 hits in the last 15 at-bats with the runners in scoring position for the Rangers after 5 hits in the previous 44 at-bats in those situations. Now that is better. Brought to you by Wendy's. And Ranger hitters, too. Can't forget them. They have a little bit to say with that. Well, part of the 33,000-plus crowd on hand here tonight. Don't forget now, folks, if you're coming out tomorrow night, it's Yu Darvish counter bobblehead night. Make sure you get your tickets as soon as possible. Only 4,000 or so reserved seats left. And if you want to come out tomorrow night, you're going to have to grab those tickets quickly because that right-hander right there is going to be on the hill. And actually, his bobblehead's going to be on the hill. He won't be on the hill. Darvish pitching on Thursday, I believe it is. But his bobblehead will be here in all its glory. Chris McGinnis leading things off. Took over defensively for Jeff Baker. Facing Vinny Pestano. Right-hander coming out of the Cleveland bullpen, becomes the 4th pitcher used by Terry Francona tonight.
Yeah, Chris had a big hit yesterday.
Well, and he hammers this one to right field.
If
that's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Off the facing of the second deck and just did miss the pole.
Do you have a shot at it up there? Looks like he's not too happy.
Oh, my.
Well, he hit that ball hard. That ball was up and in. He just tomahawked that thing. Yeah, big hit yesterday. Drove in a run, second run for the Rangers. Oh, there's why he's upset.
And a swing and a chopped foul on the next one.
Let's take a look at it. Oh, man. That wasn't easy. That ball was a rope.
Yeah.
That was a rope. His son on the right not too excited about it. He's just going to have a little more cotton candy.
Outside to McGinnis, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
But that double that he had yesterday to drive in his first run, first major league hit, made it a 4-2 game.
Right.
I feel your pain, man. Look at the kid looking at him, smiling. Dad doesn't want to hear it.
2-2 the count. Yeah, that's something we'll need to talk about when we get home. Not right now.
Well, you know, he's so far away up there. I don't know how many balls are hit near there in a season. You know, 5 or 6 maybe. John Olerud hit one up there one day to a Seattle Mariner fan. Oh, man.
Rifle shot and a kind of a diving, leaning catch by Carlos Santana.
Just miss a home run, then hit a rope for an out.
Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery of the game. And it's Lance Berkman in a tie ball game with a man on. He just rode it on out of here 376 feet. Well, the freaky fast delivery of the game that delivered the Ranger lead to them. That made it 5-3. The Rangers would tack on another one on Nelson Cruz RBI double. 6-3, and that's where we stand here in the bottom of the 8th inning with the bases empty and 1 out.
Yeah, Vinny Pestano has a little higher ERA than we're accustomed to seeing him with. Struggling a little bit this year, although his opponent's batting average is only .218.
Rip and a miss by Craig Gentry. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the right-hander ready to go. And Gentry fouls it back. Terry Francona's kind of had to go closer by committee with Chris Perez, the Indians' normal closer, on the shelf.
Last 2 years, Pestano's had opponents' batting averages of 184, 207, and an ERA over 2 years of about 2.45.
And a swinging strike 3. Gentry gone on strikes. That's out number 2, and we'll bring up Jurickson Profar. Folks, online voting continues for the 2013 MLB All-Star Game. That's going to be in New York. And the Rangers need your help to put Elvis back in first place. He's got some catching up to do. Go to TexasRangers.com to cast up to 25 ballots online and learn how to cast an extra 10. Fans that vote up to 25 times will receive a 50% off ticket offer. Profar fouls back the first pitch. Jurickson, a double as he led off the 7th inning for the Rangers. Doubled over the head of Nick Swisher in right field. Now up there from the left side against the right-hander Pistano. Joe Nathan, he's probably still loose from being up 9 times on Saturday night. Came in and got his 19th save yesterday. Way inside. And Profar jackknifing out of the way. It's 2-1. But Jurickson at 258 with the average. And Pistano's next pitch gets the outside corner. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases empty in the bottom of the 8th inning. Way inside.
It must have nicked him.
And it got him. Hit his uniform at least. And
almost got out of the way of that thing. It was about 3 feet inside.
So Profar down to first. How do you get out of the way of that ball?
I don't know. Young and quick.
Yeah. That it was behind him at one point. Just did nick him on the thigh. The Jurickson aboard with the hit batter. 2 outs. Elvis to the plate. Up the middle. Right there, Aviles, though. The shortstop fires, and that will do it. Rangers leave Profar stranded after hit batter. We're going to the 9th inning. It's Joe Nathan time at Rangers Ballpark. 6-3 Texas.
In the top of the 9th, and don't forget we've got Rangers Live presented by Esurance coming up right after the game. Join me and Mark McLemore for the analysis, Emily Jones in the clubhouse for the interviews. We'll hear from Ron Washington as well as set up Derek Hall and start tomorrow. He's been very good of late and seems to always be good against the Cleveland Indians. We'll talk about that and much more on the postgame show coming up right after the game. Buzz.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, the game turned over to the capable hands of Joe Nathan, the 38-year-old veteran, on for the attempt at his 20th save of the year in 21 opportunities. See the numbers on Joe at 178, their earned run average. Opponents hitting just 148. We have seen Nathan starting to turn up the dial a little bit here of late.
Yeah, I've seen him pop a couple of 95ers.
And Mark Reynolds, the first hitter, fouls back the first pitch. It is 0-1. Reynolds tonight has struck out twice and grounded to third. Nathan, who over his last 5 ball games has 5 scoreless innings. And he hits the outside corner. It is no balls and 2 strikes. Nathan to the line, back to the plate. And another foul ball. Reynolds 0 for 2 in his career against Joe Nathan. Coming into play here tonight. Nathan against these Cleveland Indians has 32 career saves. It's his 3rd most against Cleveland.
Oh, nasty hook.
There is strikeout number 1. Reynolds not able to check his swing in time. Now Ryan Rayburn. AT&T would like to remind you, tomorrow night we'll be right back with you here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Fox Sports Southwest, 7 o'clock. Join us for the second of 3 games between these two teams. Derek Holland and Corey Kluber. Tomorrow night at 7. Rayburn swings and skies one to center field. Gentry backpedaling, puts the brakes on and makes the grab. That is out number 2. Well, Joe Nathan, a strikeout and a fly ball within 1 out now of locking up the Rangers' 38th win of the year. Win tonight would make the Rangers 11 games over 500 here at home. Make them 19-8. Crowd of just over 33,000, many of them standing, cheering on Joe Nathan. And Yan Gomes fouls back the first pitch. It is 0-1.
You know, that graphic we showed in the pregame show, Buzz, shows how well the Rangers play at home. But it's not just a case where they're outscoring people by pounding the ball. They're hitting great, but they're pitching great in this ballpark too. It kind of dispels the myth that you can't get a pitching staff to be successful in this ballpark. So far this year, the Rangers have an ERA under 3 here.
Good hard slider. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Well, that to me has been the biggest part of the early part of 2013 is how well the Rangers have pitched overall and here. Sure. Crowd really getting behind Joe Nathan now. No balls, 2 strikes. The right-hander to the wind, and the pitch is high and away. And they'll have to rise to that crescendo one more time. Joe, 19 out of 20 times has been successful. Trying to make that 20 out of 21. Ground ball to the right side. Profar has it. On to first, a little flip, and that will do it. Joe Nathan allows Ron Washington and Jackie Moore to have the celebratory hug, handshakes all around. The Rangers have won their 2nd in a row. Joe Nathan has saved his 2nd in a row, and the 20 out of 21 attempts continues for Joe Nathan. Well, the battery successful, the veteran battery successful, and Lance Berkman adding a big 2-run home run that broke a 3-3 tie for the Rangers and set them on to victory here tonight. Rangers had 1 in the 2nd, fell behind 3-1 as Cleveland scored 3 in the top of the 3rd. Then the Rangers tied it on Jeff Baker's 2-run home run in the 4th, and finally in the 7th, it was Lance Berkman, a 2-run blast, and Nelly Cruz, an RBI double. And Joe Nathan came on to ice the cake with that ground ball off the bat of Yan Gomes out to Jurickson Profar.
A good solid win for the Rangers.
a lot of things went well today. You loved the way Josh Lindblom recovered after the 3-run double by Carlos Santana. Retired, I think it was the last 10 batters in a row. Struck out 4 of them. Really developed a good repertoire toward the end, mixed in all his pitches. Pitched 6 innings, did a nice job. And then the bullpen came in and did their thing. Robbie Ross might have had as an impressive 3 stretch of bats, group of at-bats as we've seen all year.
Yeah.
Struck out 3, tuned it up at 94, 95. He looked great. Tanner came in, did his thing, and Joe Nathan a 1-2-3 ninth. Nice, tidy win with a couple of big home runs, too.
No, the Rangers with their 38th victory of the year. And let's head down to the field where Emily Jones is standing by with one of the stars.
Thank you very much. Here with Lance Berkman. Lance, it had been just a little bit for you. Felt good, that one coming off the bat?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a while since I hit a ball like that, so I was a little shocked, but glad that it came at the time that it did.
Yeah, just talk about that. The double play looked so deflating, and then you come up big in that situation.
Well, Murph hit that ball hard. It's just unfortunate it went right to the first baseman, and really in that situation, you're not trying to hit a home run. You're just trying to get a pitch that you can hit hard and hope you get a base hit and drive that run in. And I got into a good count, 1-0. Felt like he was going to throw a fastball and was ready for it.
You've been pretty hard on yourself as far as the slump that you've been in. Just talk about, I guess, hoping that this maybe is a catalyst for things to come.
Well, I hope so. I've actually felt decent on the right side. It's left-handed that I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. So, a game like tonight can give you a good feeling, and hopefully you just keep it going. More importantly, we got to win, and slump or no slump, it's all about picking up W's, and tonight was a big one for us.
And then finally, no breaks in the dugout. Kins and the guys are acting like they're sleeping when you come in.
Right.
That's part of the fun of it, right, though?
Yeah, I'm sure I put them to sleep with my performances of late, and anyway, that just, that's part of the fun of the game when you have teammates that care about you and that interact with you like that, and that's why you come to the field every day.
Lance, congratulations on the win. We appreciate the time. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, Em, thank you very much. And Lance Berkman, a very happy Ranger, and he's going to be in a clubhouse with a lot of happy Rangers. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Ford. Your Texas Ford dealer celebrates red, white, and you. Enjoy great savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UBurst TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Progressive. Visit progressive.com today. 6-3 the final. The Rangers have made it 2 in a row now as they return home in winning style. Dana Larson and Mark McLemore back to wrap things up for you from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.